Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and these are crazy times we're living in. Crazy, crazy times. And I want to take a minute to address this. I know most people were talking about this a few days ago. I had some other stuff going on, so I was addressing that instead. But I do really want to speak to this issue, the Netflix BRIE LARSON, random person on Twitter, thing that went down. And because it speaks to a bigger issue in today's culture, etc. So, quick recap, if you're not familiar with what happened, Netflix posted the trailer for the Unicorn Store, and they were like, we're super stoked about this. Some rando dude with like 300 followers posted like, this movie looks blah, and said that he's not interested in seeing it, and he wishes that Brie Larson had done what Jonah Hill did, which is take a long time to bring his project to fruition and work with people like Martin Scorsese to make it happen for his directorial debut, and that he feels like she's just riding the wave of success from Captain Marvel. Some idiot intern at Netflix, just whoever or whatever moron is in charge of their social media, decides that with all their 5.9 million followers, they should respond to this dude who has like 300 with a list of Brie Larson's resume, essentially her credits, directors she's worked with, etc. At which point Brie Larson took this, retweeted it, and was like, Netflix, because she thinks she's clever or something. So of course a gajillion people went and started harassing this guy with 300 followers. Brie Larson, by the way, has 1.4 million followers on Twitter. So these millions of people bring attention to this one little dude, or these people with the millions of followers bring attention to this one little dude who now is getting harassed, attacked, called sexist, called troll, called whatever, getting articles written about him saying he's a troll, he got pwned, he's since set his account to private, and pretty much I found one article that actually even said anything about who this person was or what his response was to this, which basically they showed a bunch of his tweets in response, and they were all these very polite, very like, I don't know why you're calling me sexist, I'm not going to apologize for my opinion, I'm allowed to disagree, I'm allowed to not want to see this movie. Completely 100% respectful, responding to people calling him names, calling him sexist, being a total being douches to him. And he eventually set his account on private because presumably he was getting spammed by a ridiculous number of people on Twitter being like, you suck, and just adding him and, being like, I hate you. So, there's so many things wrong with this on so many levels. One is, once again, whoever's running Twitter's social media should be fired, because why are you out there trying to pwn people with 300 followers? That's just a waste of your time, and it's not a good look. It's like a pro wrestler just like curb stomping a child. That's pretty much what happened here, is somebody who's like 500 pounds kicking a baby across a football field. Good for you. Way to go. Good use of your time and energy and resources. And Brie Larson retweeting it is just once again an example of how utterly out of touch she is with reality, because this is her reality. As I said before, I feel bad for her. She doesn't understand the concept of this person is not who she is. This person does not have 1,000 people managing her media and her social image, etc. This is just one person who expressed one simple, harmless opinion on the internet, and she's just sicked millions of people on this person. Does not understand that no appreciation for the effects of her words, for the effects of the things she does and says. And that's an issue for me. Like, you gotta understand the effects of your words. You gotta understand the effects of the things that you do. People just don't think about that anymore. We live in a consequence-free society because the internet is so anonymous that we just feel like we can do these things with impunity. Like the people who created fake accounts to go after this guy, because they're not even going to attack him with their real accounts because they know they'll get flagged and booted off Twitter. So they feel comfortable just setting up, they don't even feel comfortable being themselves. That's how much they know they're doing the wrong things. They need to set up a fake account to go attack this person. If you're doing that, if you're setting up a fake account because you know you're going to do or say things that are going to get you booted off of the platform, you probably shouldn't be doing or saying those things. And I also like to address the absurdity of responding to a criticism saying, I don't know that Brie Larson is qualified to be a director, by listing a resume of her acting credits and directors she's worked for. That's like saying, I don't know if this guy is qualified to be a mechanic, and then someone replies with all of the different races that he has driven cars in, his incredible car driving resume, and all of the various incredible mechanics he has taken his car to. That doesn't qualify him to be a mechanic. And the point that this guy was making in his tweet, which was super valid, was like, you should have respect for this art. This is a craft. This is something people study for. This is something people work years and years at doing, that you should have more respect for the art of directing than just popping in and being like, well, I've been an actor for long enough. I've seen other people do it. I can probably do it just fine. Super valid criticism. And since the comparison he used happened to involve a male actor and a male director, oh my God, how sexist. Because now apparently comparing a man to a woman in any context whatsoever is sexist. Because clearly what the regressive left believes in is segregation of the sexes. Because this idea that Martin Luther King fought against, and so many people in the civil rights era fought against, of separate but equal, seems to be the core tenet of the regressive left. Let's separate everybody out. No cultural mixing, no cultural sharing. You can't mingle at all, because if you do, you're being sexist and racist and homophobic. So no sharing, no mingling whatsoever. We'll just keep y'all separate, but it'll be equal. But since we know separate but equal always disadvantages the minorities, we're gonna make sure we go out of our way to purposefully disadvantage the groups that we don't feel need protecting, like white men and the Jews. They don't need any protecting. We can shit on them. Anti-Semitism is fine, as evidenced by Twitter, but I digress. Random people on the internet expressing random opinions don't need protecting. No, A-list actors with 1.4 million followers somehow need protecting. Which brings me to the whole point of this, which is that, no, Brie Larson is not being harassed. Here's this idiotic notion that's sprung up on social media lately, because we all somehow feel like we're now equal people in this world, that I am the same as someone like Brie Larson. I'm not. I am a random YouTuber. I don't have a massive, gigantic following. I'm not a verified human. I am not, by definition, a public figure. And here's the key point here. Public figure. That means something more than just a description. That carries legal connotations with it. The rules for public figures regarding things like harassment, libel, slander are different than the rules for regular people. For example, if you were to go write a big article on me, any one of you random people were to write a big article on me, talking about me and my private life and saying things that are not true, and making judgments and being a general dick to me, I have recourse to say that you are harassing me, you're targeting me, that you are libeling me. I have recourse for that. If I sit here and say, Brie Larson is an entitled, arrogant, stuck-up cunt, that's not slander. She's a public figure. I get to say pretty much whatever I want about her, short of encouraging others to do violence to her, or inciting any kind of violence against her. I'm pretty much free to get on this platform, this public platform, not really, I mean this public platform run by a private company, and say whatever the F I want about Brie Larson. I'm allowed. I have that right. She's a public figure. She, by definition, is fair game. So, unless you're talking about people who are obsessively adding her, being like, at Brie Larson, you suck. At Brie Larson, you're a cunt. At Brie Larson, you're a fuck. And even then, I'm not sure how that would be defined in the light of the fact that she is a public figure. Things like her Twitter account. This is not considered a verified Twitter account for a public figure is not the same as someone's personal private Twitter account. She is representing herself on Twitter as a public figure. The rules are different. It's like having your public page on Facebook versus your personal page, right? The rules are different. People who are in this situation, and part of that is they have the effing resources to protect themselves. And I'm sorry, if you got to that point, if you're an Academy Award-winning A-list celebrity, and people adding you on Twitter being like, you suck, I hate you, bothers you, get a thicker goddamn skin. Because people say shitty things about me all the time, right in my comment section, on Twitter, wherever they want. And guess what? Oh well! decrying harassment. Oh my God, I am being harassed because of this. Just effing ignore it. Don't read it. And this just cracks me up. You people running around championing for her. Leave BRIE LARSON alone. Why are you guys so mean to her and harassing her? Why the F do you care? She doesn't. And if she does, she needs to grow the fuck up. It's not, this is not, and this is what's happening to the point where we're now labeling as trolls and harassing and accepting harassment towards ordinary people in protection of public figures to whom the rules do not apply. I can run up and down Ventura Boulevard screaming BRIE LARSON is a fucking cunt. And that's not harassment. Even if BRIE LARSON drives by and happens to hear me say it, it's not harassment. Now, if I find her and I start stalking her and saying that stuff to her, sure, that's harassment. But you have to understand, the rules do not apply to bona fide public figures the same way they do to ordinary people. The laws do not apply the same way. Look this shit up and get your heads out of your asses. BRIE is not your friend. She's not one of you. She's not, for all that she tries to run around saying it, an ordinary person. She is anything but. The ordinary rules of life have essentially never applied to her. She started working in Hollywood since she was 8. And yeah, that sucks for her, and I feel bad for her because she doesn't even know what it means to be an ordinary person. But on the flip side, stop treating her like she's just a regular, everyday individual that needs your protection. She doesn't. She's a goddamn A-list celebrity. She gets to go to the special celebrity resorts that normal people don't even have access to. She just probably has personal security, whatever the F she wants it. She is entitled to things, and she gets things because she is a public freaking figure. She don't need your random asses on the internet running around protecting her. So stop. And stop acting like it's harassment. Stop acting like BRIE LARSON calling out a Twitter troll is the same as me calling her out on her bullshit. It's not. It's not the same. And it's not just scope of audience. By the legal freaking definition, the rules apply differently to public figures than they do to ordinary citizens. Learn that shit. I rest my case. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and press that like button. Please click that, all of your shares, comments, everything, all the ways you interact with this video help me so much, and I appreciate when you do that. Then click on that video, get involved with me. For more ways to get involved with my Patreon, buy my t-shirts, get involved on social media, get in contact with me, P.O. Box information, all that fun stuff so you can be involved with this channel. Your involvement is what helps me be able to do what I'm doing so that hopefully one day I too can be a public figure and you all can harass me as much as your heart's desire with no punishment. Hooray! All right, that's all. God Empress out.